Yeah, I really love the design space the Nord Dimension location added. I think it's a great extra thing to have be a part of the game. Destroy. This is one of the matchups where someone was asking about Invisible Woman earlier. Invisible Woman is actually very good in this matchup because she lets us put Killmonger behind it, so that way Killmonger is guaranteed to kill their Deadpool on the final turn. The Great Web. Of all the locations in Marvel Snap, this is certainly one of them. Hoping to hit Brood or Invisible Woman with this Iron Lad. Alright, we've mostly been using the pedal chair for the first 5 hours, so I think it's time to sit my lazy butt down for a little bit. Invisible Woman! Wasp. Rip. Good thing this game only costs 1 cube. Yep. It's definitely going to be a go next kind of angle here, it's looking like. I have priority, can we stay? Or they have priority, can we stay? Does ever win the game? Snap. Giant Deadpools, how could they possibly lose? Again, this is the kind of snap where this snap is bad on the ladder and it's good inside of Conquest. Except we lost the coin flip to their death and now we are dead. We needed our broods to be in the path where they deathed. Or for them to not have death, but they have a lot of cards. So. Loses the Taskmaster. It was not a... We did not lose to Taskmaster. We lost to death. But Taskmaster, that's why I spread out to play. So if they went like Deadpool, Taskmaster, we kill the Deadpool, and then we win here in whichever one of these other ones they have. You know what they say, chat? Life's a batch and then you die. Good to have you here, Mentet. Can't sub on the website yet because it says my Prime hasn't ended yet. So there's this super awkward holdover point where, what's what I'm searching for? Where your Prime sub has ended, but you can't renew yet. It's a feature. Does ever win the game? Gotta be a fish for one. Something profitable against pulled center and the Shadow King does his job. Got him hot waiting in the wings here. Yeah, we're gonna play a little bit of that deck today, B-Doggy. But I also think it's disingenuous to call it Gladiator Disruption Bounce. It's a werewolf deck. And you could easily replace Gladiator with something else. Werewolf. Werewolf by Night is a very strong and good Marvel Snap card. Awesome Saucinator. Thank you for the 2 years. Welcome back. We win regardless, right? Do you expect nerfs on Werewolf by Night? I do not. All things considered, it's a very fair and reasonable card.
Victory.
Does Lad work if he hits Mystique? Only if the card you played before him was ongoing. Mr. Ode, thank you for the 3.5 years. Welcome back. Hope that this one works out for us. Well, shit. Is this good or bad for us? I genuinely can't tell. Ooh, that's a sick line. Hulkbuster your Nico and get a 1/7 Nico. Confirmed good for us. It sure would be a shame if something happened to these 1/7 Nikos, gamers. Damn shame. And Killmonger is like the meme from that show where he's loading his gun. He's like, damn shame. Something happened to all these Nikos.
Victory.
I think this is better for them than us. I'm gonna leave.
Escaped.
Thanks for doing here, Ant-Man Sam.
Oh,
They can't interact with locations I'm snapping on Slot Citadel. Is your opponent's deck the best version of Destroy in your opinion? It's close. I think the best version of Destroy, generally speaking, contains Taskmaster. But if I'm being completely honest, I genuinely don't know which card their deck is supposed to cut to fit Taskmaster. If that makes sense. I don't think it's Hulkbuster. I've seen people cutting Deathlock, which doesn't seem unreasonable. Hulkbuster's pretty important for your Deadpool draws. And if you're adding Taskmaster back in, you don't want to make your Deadpool draws worse, if that makes sense. Alright, go left or right for me, Wolvie. Damn it.
Enough said, Bob.
Yeah, I think the last time I played, I cut Death for Taskmaster, but I don't have a high level of certainty that that's optimal, if that makes sense. I play a lot of different decks on this stream, so like the number of decks that I have strong opinions on like their last couple of slots in tend to be few and far between. I think Taskmaster is just a really high cube equity card. If they just play Null, they lose. So I shouldn't play Super Skrull, I should play Ultron to play for all three. If they just play Null, they're losing the center. They've already played their potentially free card. Yeah, I think this is, despite only playing for one more cube, they need to go. The difference between having 3 cubes and having 2 cubes is significant here for the opponent. Man, we played some really good Conquest matches so far today. This opponent and the Cerebro 2 player we played before this, both like, really tight play. They've been snapping and retreating super appropriately. My thoughts on having a sideboard in Conquest. I think Conquest would be a significantly better Marvel Snap game mode with sideboards. I think sideboards would help remove a lot of the matchup polarization issues that Conquest currently has. Where you like queue up into a matchup where they have a tech card and you just can't win anymore. Is a semi-frequent experience in Marvel Snap currently, Conquest. What's a sideboard? A sideboard or a side deck is a small list of cards you pick during deck building that in between games at set intervals you can swap out with other cards. In other games that play a static number of games during their tournament rounds, you generally speaking like can sideboard in between each game. But Marvel Snap, I don't know what the exact right answer for that is though, because they could play with a few things. They could say like, okay, you sideboard when you go below 5 cubes, or you can sideboard when you're down a game, or so there's a lot of different intervals they could do it at that would be interesting, I think. Snap them before I Killmonger them here. Let's see if they want to stay. They are a null deck, so this Killmonger is not strictly perfect, but I think it means we're ahead, so I'm gonna press the button. Yu-Gi-Oh! Does sideboards too, that's good to know. Yu-Gi-Oh's like the one paper card game I haven't played competitively.
Enough said, Bob.
Okay, let's say they null the right. Can I win these other locations? They null the right. They go to 14 here. I'm at 7. This ties. How cheap is death? I wish I knew the answer to that question, but Marvel Snap's interface is hot dog water, so I don't. This is 6, 11. So I'd be at 11 to them having 9. Skip.
Victory.
All right, onwards, upwards, backwards, forwards. Let's dive into the next one, huh? Judo Blow, thank you for the 7 months. Appreciate that. Welcome back. The deck tracker has an experimental setting that works loosely like half the time. Or when you click to emotes, it hides itself. There's a lot of times where it doesn't work, but when it does, it's super convenient. But I assume it's under experimental because it only works some of the time. Oh, I think this is a person that does some Snap stuff on Twitter / they're a sub here too, I believe. This is the same username that I'm recalling correctly. If I fill the Sacred Timeline, I get 2nd Patriot plus another Wasp, right? Which kinda seems good. They could be a lot of different things with Invisible Woman, but Dubs Patriot sounds like I'm gonna press a button here. It's their lay high card. Invisible Woman, Doctor Doom, Skrull, Mr. Sinister. All of these, like, Shadow King's are only real bad one here. Like clockwork, gamers. The odds we mess them up here. Rats. We get magicked. Leech! Wow, brutal. Shoot. Huh. What deck are they? Is this good enough? There's Cerebro 3? I think this might be good enough. It's close though. And like also a Doctor Doom deck maybe? Wow, yeah, okay. So look, I think they're doing something similar to us, only they happen to have Leech. Them having Wasp confirms that they're a Patriot deck as well, right? Jar Cadet, thank you for the primer. Appreciate it. Yeah, you can always type in the chat and type verdict to grab my take on the latest card release. That goes up the Wednesday after, always. It's so terrible for us. This card probably doesn't have text, so I'm just gonna play it to the board for tempo. It's the worst tempo deck you've ever seen. Man, Leech really seems atrocious for us, huh? We have so many 6 drops that are important to play. Wah-ha! Did I just do it again? Do I Killmonger? I'm either going Skrull into Ultron here, or I'm going Killmonger into Ultron here. And remember, I have an Invisible Woman in the middle. Yeah, I mean, they're definitely a Patriot deck. The problem is they know we have a Skrull, right? So they might... Maybe they played something we could Skrull this turn, but I assume they just, like, duck my Skrull the rest of the games, right? Well, these are definitely ongoing things then, right? Oh. Oh, I guess they were probably expecting Doctor Doom out of me, right? It's only one more cube.
Victory.
Yeah, this Valkyrie play. No, it still would have lost to Doctor Doom, right? Because Doctor Doom would have been my only thing over here. They would have won the left. They are also playing kind of weird techie Patriot list. Heh. I think because they have Leech, I just want to play to the board early. I'm gonna snap on the Super Skrull draw, and I'm gonna put the Super Skrull in the middle, so that way if they want to Enchantress my Skrull, they also have to Enchantress their Patriot. Enchantress feels a little weird / out of place in their deck. I guess they probably only have Patriot for an ongoing, huh? Wonder what encourages that over, say, Rogue. What's their 12th card? I don't know. It's probably something else that's like decent with Valkyrie, I imagine. Alioth, maybe? I don't know. I feel like they have a lot of other top ends, right? Cards M'Baku, something like that. We just do this.
call it a day.
We die, we die.
Victory.
Squirrel Girl middle could get us, that's true. They like play into the rickety bridge and then pop it out. That was, did anybody see that weird graphical glitch across the screen there? I'm gonna put my blue marvel to the right because this is potentially an ongoing and I don't want to stack all my ongoings in one location. It was just a reality record strat. Shit, the Matrix is falling apart. This takes 6, 8 away from them while taking 3 away from us. I don't want to chase them out with a snap. I think they might leave if I snap them. The Ultron animation flying across the board when, the Ultron animation flying across the board when the board's already full always makes me chuckle a little bit.
Victory.
All right, we're ahead, but it's not over. We got three shots to close it out here. Yeah, I think if, the Snap was going to have sideboards, I'd want them to start at like 3 cards, a quarter of the deck. Magic uses 15. Actually, a good question. Someone's talking, how big are sideboards in Yu-Gi-Oh! In proportion to the deck size? Is it 25% like Magic, or is it more or less? How big are Yu-Gi-Oh! Decks, though? I don't know the answer to that question either. Pardon my ignorance. Yu-Gi-Oh! Has a 15-card side deck for 40-card decks. That seems like a lot. Is it correct in my assumption that similar to Magic, playing the most, or the minimum number of cards, is typically strategically correct? Okay. So Iron Lad in the middle is a little bit medium if we hit Brood, but if it hits Super Scroll, I just want to spread out my ongoing cards against the Enchantress deck. I think we just do this now because I obviously want to play a 6-drop next turn. Leech me, daddy. I think secondary is more likely to do multi-deck than side deck. Yeah, I think I agree with that too, but I also think multi-deck is armpits and sideboards are significantly better. Never played Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh! Why is playing the minimum number of cards better? Because you want the highest odds of drawing your best cards, because there's a limit on how many total cards you can put in your deck. What's better? I think I want to play for all three here, huh? I've already played their Doctor Doom. So here's the thing, and I do this explanation so much on this channel. Whenever we talk about the possibility of sideboards in Marvel Snap, people always comment that decks that get hosed by specific tech cards would struggle the most.
Victory.
But that's not true. So sideboards only hurt cards that get hurt by certain tech cards in a world where those tech cards don't see play. But Armor, Shang-Chi, Killmonger, Enchantress, Shadow King, these are already among the most played cards in Marvel Snap. The thing that sideboards would do is they would allow decks that don't want to play tech cards to be able to adapt and adjust to the tech cards that beat them that people are already playing. So yes, for a number of decks, a selection of tech cards would be part of their board, but for a wider selection of other decks, their sideboard would be counterplay to the counterplay that already exists, or it would be a way to pivot their primary game plan in a different direction so they could sidestep the counterplay. So I'm definitely not dumb. There would definitely be tech cards inside of sideboards in Marvel Snap, but there would also be an incredible number of decks that don't want to play tech cards and just want to have counterplay into opposing tech cards so they can exist. So they could not be just dead to whatever their opponent is doing. All right, gamers, it's about that time. We're gonna take a 2-minute ad break. When we get back, we're gonna see if Invisible Patriot can run it all the way down to the Infinity Ticket. We started at the Proving Grounds, and now we're here. We'll catch you in 120 seconds. Thanks for hanging out and doing your drops here today in Hoaglandia. Yes, exactly that. Everyone would start with big tech cards and they'd shift over time. I think it's a great take. Because playing just big tech cards is easy and obvious, right? Agree. I'm definitely not dumb. That needs to make into a wall piece, something like that. Whoa! Probably real. Welcome to Hoaglandia's latest Shillionaire. Look at that trickle-down economy in action. Our next Shillionaire will now only have to spend 999,871 shillings. So much more accessible for the plebs at home. Thanks for watching a ton over the last year and more, probably real. Be sure to ping me on the subs Discord server to grab access to Beverly Shills there. Yeah, people, we originally threw the Shillionaire roll up there as a joke, but we've had over 100 people claim it over the years. What happens when it's free? I assume at some point when becoming a shillionaire is completely free, I'll be ready to retire. Do you manually change the cost on Shillionaire? I do, yeah. Every time someone claims it, I go into my channel point rewards and adjust it by 1. There is a subs Discord server, yeah. You want to hang out in the 24/7 part of Oglandia, make sure to pop in there. A very active group of folks. It is not a fully open Discord server because I don't have it in me to moderate a fully public Discord server, nor do I want to pay moderators to suffer through that, but for anybody that's a sub on Twitch or a member on YouTube has access to that. Mindscape is poop. Joke's on you, Jeff. America doesn't believe in retirement. Mood. My wife has one of those fancy boomer jobs, chat. She has a pension. Streamer 5 gamer, maybe? Hey, you have the Discord server. You gotta link your Discord and your Twitch and your Discord settings, then it'll pop up under your connections. What do you think is an acceptable retirement age, Jeff? I think me, random streamer on twitch.tv, is not properly equipped to answer an important societal question like, what is an appropriate retirement age? I think answering that question requires having a bunch of research and knowledge that I don't readily have on hand. Dear gamers, please normalize saying I don't know. Oh, they're a weird surfer deck. Okay. Okay, they have a 6/8 and a Killmonger and a Shadow King. What age would I like to retire at? I genuinely don't know the answer to that question for me personally. Does this ever win the game? Probably not, because it pulls something with it. I would like to retire yesterday. I mean, I think I would...
Escaped.
I would like to make content less than 50 to 80 hours a week at some point in my adult life. I think as long as I am physically capable of enjoying video games, I would like to continue to do what I do here, at least some amount of my time for a long while. Arkansas Armory, thank you for the 2 months of Prime. Welcome back. They probably don't have Shang-Chi, but we could get Juggernauted out of the game alive this turn. Yeah, we're definitely brooding. The question is, do they have Jug? Novaruma helps them to that effect. You think Jeff is cranky now? Wait till he's streaming at 50. To be fair, I would wager there's probably a good chance a lot of my audience grows with me. I think I'm gonna Iron Lad mid. I think I'll snap here as well. Ooh, that's a solid one. Got me. Can't wait to watch you play competitive online cribbage at 80. Cribbage. That one takes me back. I used to play cribbage with my grandpa. Do I super scroll assuming they're gonna Sarah me? Or do I like Patriot plus Mr. Sinister and then just like Patriot Mr. Sinister? I think the scroll's too speculative. I'd rather just pump my stats up, I think. Hey Jeff, thanks for reading Woody yesterday. He had some cool decks and it was a good stream. Yeah, like I was talking about. I always try and raid some of the smaller creators that don't get enough eyes on them when we finish streaming here. Bootman! Thanks for the entire year and the collabs and all that jazz over it.
Victory.
Hey, Legidi, thank you for the primer. Appreciate it.
This land can never be fully known.
Honestly, our hand's not terrible, right? It's like Patriot into Iron Lad into something in the middle into Dr. Doom. Is there a good replacement for Iron Lad in this deck? I don't know. Jessica Jones, maybe? He kind of just gives you a touch of redundancy. Moongirl Clutter deck you posted has been great for me, but Daredevil being broken on mobile is driving me crazy. Yeah. Yeah, maybe the Thing or Absorbing Man. I could see Absorbing Man being okay, so you could follow up your broods with it. Well... But if I do this, and then we just like Dr. Doom into Wasp. Seems fine. That is a Venomized Spider Ham, yeah. So, Doctor Doom is +7 in the middle, and Wasp is +3, so I'm going to 15. And they're kind of at 2, right? I think we're good to go here. I assume they're leaving. Woo! Close.
Victory.
I feel like I can't be snapping appropriately with this deck. The set of games we played with this deck has been really, really satisfying, though. Our opponents have played well. We've had good back and forths. Our decks feels like it's been competitive into most things. I definitely feel like it's like, Huh? Well, they're Werewolf Surfer. That makes sense. Iron Lad Middle, says local man about to hit Ultron. Oh, my Marvel. Yikes. We were hoping to bar Sinister that one. What deck do you feel most comfortable with snapping on a regular basis? Bounce. I think this is a go next angle for us. Using Marvel and not having Patriot Insight is a little rough. Discard's a good example of a deck where, like, your good draws are pretty obviously good, so you should be obvious when to snap. Decks that aren't interactive, that are just, like, building big numbers, tend to be the ones that are easiest to snap with. Because you could, like, know what tech cards beat you and which ones your opponent's likely to be playing and when your numbers are likely to be bigger than theirs.
Escaped.
Those very proactive linear decks are ones you can do that with. All right. Into the high stakes round, chat. I live in a state run by Democrats, so it's okay for the stakes to be high here. Nobody's gonna get in trouble. Yes, Shuri's a good example of a deck that's good and linear, that easy and clean to learn to snap with. The clutter is bad for them. The dark dimension is bad for them. I think the Shuri Black Knight deck is better than the Moon Girl. Better than the Moon Girl Black Knight or Moon Girl Shuri? This is good if they play Sarah, right? Super Skrull gives them pause about playing their Sarah too, which is great. I find it really interesting and truly arbitrary how the states regulate gambling differently, especially in the advent of digital sports betting. It seems like these digital sports betting apps are skirting a lot of the gambling laws on technicalities, I'd wager. Those are heavily advertised on Twitch these days. Yeah, I think this is it. I mean, for what it's worth, chat, just so my stance on things are abundantly clear, I think gambling is fine and fun in moderation. And then obviously addiction is a disease and should be treated as such. So, regulations to stop things like children from gambling. Very good. Oh, they're a Killmonger build. That makes so much sense. I should know that. I should have Ultroned instead of. Had we seen Killmonger? Or am I just dumb? Oh, did we get it anyways? I think we win the left by a little bit. No, it's their 12th card. I don't remember seeing that. But, okay. I think Killmonger, even if we hadn't seen it, Killmonger should have been on my radar for cards to play around. At this point, you should have to regulate gacha games too. In my opinion, every TCG booster pack and gacha video game on every platform should have 18 plus stickers on them and be regulated like the gambling that they are. I also don't think we should get rid of them. I play a bunch of those games and I think they're fun and fine in moderation, but they should 100%. Every Magic the Gathering and Pokemon TCG booster pack should have some type of gambling regulation / warning associated with them. It is 110% what they are. $500 credits, 200 gold, 1 gold ticket, 1 sucker who's gonna spend $5 more. Okay, just so we're clear. There's not any confusion. I have Google Play points too, chat, so this really only cost me $3. You can't see it, chat, but Benjamin Broad has a hook right in my mouth. They got me right where they want me. Yesterday you said you were likely to buy the Flurkin bundle and today it's sold. I am many things, but I am certainly not a liar. All right, chat. Can our Patriot deck fully convert? Can we go Proving Grounds to Infinite? We beat Destroy earlier, but it was a very close and hard-fought match. How long until you think that they'll sell Spotlight keys? Probably next year. I have to imagine any bigger economic changes aren't happening over the holidays. We're in like maintenance-ish mode for that type of stuff for the short term. That's 9. They're still at 10. This is 6, 10, 13. Are you infinite tier in Google Play Points? I am. I am, in fact, infinite tier for Google Play Points. We did convert with the Red Slayer deck, yeah. All right, so our opponent has their whole deck in their hands. Is noteworthy here. And remember, chat, when you have your whole deck in your hands, shaking it once is fine, twice is okay, but 3 times you're playing with yourself. Make sure you respect the game. Okay. Does this win the game? I think I'm a fish, and this wins the game. Glub, glub. Glub, glub. Does my opponent also have a hook in my mouth? They can have Zola and Death. They could have Zola. Got him. Got him! Maybe I should have snapped here. I don't know. I think there's too many normal cards they play that could go wrong for me. But showing them my Shadow King and my Scroll and only getting 1 more cube feels kind of bad. It's like, I think there's just too many permutations of this that goes wrong for me. Yeah, I really feel like they've done such the Shang-Chi nerf to me feels like the kind of getting towards the final piece in this make tech cards more interesting and varied balance. Like I feel like they've done such a good job of making it so it's not just Shang-Chi in every deck, right? Like you look at your tech card slots and you like actually have to think about which ones are worth playing here. Yes, yeah, exactly. The Kairia coming in January, finally being a counter to Killmonger, is one card that I am really looking forward to. I'm gonna Patriot here because they usually can't interact with this, and then honestly, I think we like Invisible Woman, Shadow King in the Forge or the Oscorp Tower after that. I wonder if they'll ever make a card that interacts with Snapping. I would 100% assume we will eventually get a card that interacts with Snapping. I would wager that's a when and not an if. Kang is kinda. I don't know that Kang fully counts. I'm changing my plan because I might want to Shadow King the center. Killmonger. Their death is 5. Their null is 6. It's a real shame we don't have Blue Marvel or Iron Lad here.
Enough said, Bob.
I think I have to go, unfortunately.
Opponent snapped.
Definitely not giving you 8, bud.
Escaped.
It was a very bad snap. I don't know, maybe their hand was bad, but like... Certainly weren't staying there. Beano Salad, thanks for the primer, appreciate it.
Enough said, Bob.
Load this up over here.
Clear for takeoff.
So they have Deadpool going, and I'm gonna deterministically know what the last card in my deck is here. What if I do this?
Oh, snap.
I think I like this. Yep, and this catches the Venom. And then they're guaranteed to have priority, so we're going to clear their Deadpool as well with the Killmonger.
Opponent snapped.
The Killmonger underneath does mean that I can't, it does mean that I can't Ultron, which is kind of unfortunate. Means this is Blue Marvel, though. Definitely gonna mute you. The question is, do they leave themselves dead to Skrull for a second time? Or do they play around that? I feel like they're never playing null after what happened. And I think I have to stay, but this one could definitely cut either way. We lose the left. We need the X-23 to like go right, and then I think we win the left. good here? This last card's a Shadow King. Yeah, we're good here, right? Cool.
Victory.
That was a really solid set. Claim our next infinite ticket here. Yeah, honestly, I feel like this deck didn't feel like it was doing anything too terribly fancy, but it just generated like some fantastic games of Snap on both sides. Like I can't remember the last time we played a set like that all the way through. And it was just like game after game. Like our opponents were a part of it too. Like our opponents played really well. And I feel like they made good snapping and retreating decisions that made the games interesting. Yeah, like this deck's not like breaking any onboard point records, but you've got like this mix of interaction with Shadow King, Killmonger, and Skrull. You've got interesting percentage plays with Iron Lad. You've got Doctor Doom versus Ultron. There are a few content creators as a patron of the few deck you could climb from the initial release to this month that made infinite every season with basically no changes. Yeah, I mean, like, the tech cards here changed a little bit. Yeah, that was solid. All right,